Welcome, everybody. It's a tall glass of water kind of night. Welcome to this here, Oops, All Troopers. We're continuing with some stuff that we've talked about in the past. And we're also starting in on something that was dropped over on our Discord recently, which is a Galactic Marine. We're going to be fiddling with that a little bit. And I thought we could maybe start with the Galactic Marine. Maybe just take one of the pieces at face value. Good evening, Melvin. And just start from scratch and see what happens there. It's been a little while since we've done what I might call a full reset tutorial, so let's do that. With that in mind, let's open up the Galactic Marine helmet. Okay, right off the bat, this thing is oriented incorrectly. Oh, okay, it's this guy. Yeah, I've made one of these guys before. They're not difficult to unfold. This actually should go very quickly. Let's make sure first under the lines that all of our lines are visible. Great, like to know what we're working with. And we also don't need these flaps or these edge IDs. That's not valuable for us. So let's take a look at this. Ooh, T-Bone 9600s creations. Unfortunately, we're going to be getting rid of that image. There's no way to save that. So we'll just be, we'll just be adding that to some portion of the file listing. So let's just go through and we'll undo this unfold. We're not going to apply the open edge. I don't care about it. We're actually just going to reset that. Resetting all the edges, and we're making the 3D window as big as possible here. Now, somebody's gone through and done some really cool smoothing on this. I actually think that's pretty great. The only thing I would do is I might, because these lines this way being smooth is going to make those very easy to stick together, but because I would not make the pieces horizontal, I would make it one vertical line, I'm actually going to go back and subdivide under the 3D menu there. We're going to click on all of these vertical edges right here. Subdivide this direction so that we end up with a very smooth center line. And I don't think it's going to alter it that much. Here, because now when I just go, ooh, that is too much. Let's try this instead. We're going to go back to there, go into details. Let's open this up a bit more. Let's say it's like 10. That's pretty close. It really wants to bite in, especially right there. What we may end up having to do is subdivide. Oh no, because it can't subdivide like that. Let's open it up a little bit more, see if it's still a problem. Oh, that's better. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that level, but then just to try and address this dip that's occurring right here, we're going to delete some edges. Let's delete these edges here. Hello, Orlando. Welcome to the stream. I would call that good, because we preserved that smooth center line. It's not super wonky now. There's something happening right here, though, I'm not a fan of. There we go. That's better. And now, this should actually just be pretty good. Let's divide. I'm going to divide right here just so that's easier to unfold in a moment. Let's apply some stuff. We'll reset our cut line edges again. Specify cut line edges in the 3D menu. And now, to make this go a little faster, we'll go to edge selecting, edges between 2 points, and now we can click on 2 points to specify some edges. And I'm being very broad strokes here in the 2D menu, or excuse me, the 3D menu, because we don't need to be very specific here. I can be pretty... Oh, I have to kind of do this in the middle here. I can be pretty broad about the overall shapes I'd like to make, and that'll be easy to clean up in a minute. Hello there, Spaz Kings. Spatz Kings. Welcome, welcome. We are doing some cleanup here. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I have this in the description. I should put this in the description real quick. Hang on. We're having a sale over on our Etsy store, not just on patterns, but on builds. Everything is 25% off right now. And so that's just in the lead up to my wedding, because I got a wedding to pay for. Very exciting. So here I will go ahead and throw that right in the description of this video. Here we go. Hang on. I'm good at technology. Wedding sale. 25% off our Etsy. There we go. Haha! Now it's in the description. So yeah, if you like our builds or if you like our patterns, some of our patterns are for pay, and they can be found at our Etsy and over on our Patreon. So let's see here. Man, I almost want to do something very complicated to this, but I think I will refrain for now in the name of trying to make this as quick and as easy to understand as possible. So we're just going around here. It's a very well subdivided model. We're just trying to make sure we get all the edges. I'm going to do a quick edit here. Let's swap this edge across. I think, yep, that should be straight up and down. That's a much easier model line to follow there. Okay. All right. So we've pretty well divided this. I will, well, no, because that's separated there. Yep, I think the only thing we need to do now is just to take a quick second to completely separate the inner faces of this, because of course we're working this out for foam building, right? And foam has its own thickness, meaning that we don't need to add a piece that is all the thickness. Now, what on earth am I looking at there? This model might be a little more messed up than I was giving it credit for, because there's something right here. Oh, I see. Hang on. There's a very, very tiny triangle here. I'm going to eliminate like that because that's a garbage way to do that. There we go. That's better. This is just an example of an overly complicated 3D model, frankly. If I were to really be going all out on this, I would have actually exported this. You can export under here, under texture editing, you can export the OBJ file, which is the object 3D file. And you can actually edit it with programs like Blender for free. And I would have done that to try and tidy some stuff up, just because this is kind of a messy model. It's a little over-engineered, I'd say. Okay. I say this having actually unfolded a very similar helmet in the past. We're going to do another thing right here, which is I don't want to use this entire face to kind of give a flap, but I do want a flap right here. So we're going to divide this edge a couple of times. There we go. So that I can do this. Look at that. Nice and smooth. I will give the credit to the designer where credit is due. This file was very well smoothed over when I got it. I didn't have to do a ton to it, I feel, to make it so that my pattern pieces will be very clear. I'm basically doing cosmetic edits to this thing for the way that I do unfolding, which is not a dig on the actual modeling of this piece. It's just an edit because, you know, I do some specific things. What's everybody working on this week? It's been pretty full so far already over here. I've been working on a Hordak chest piece, as well as some stuff that I'm doing with my groomsmen, and a couple of other big things. I know I was showing this off the other night. I'm working on this here. Ooh, try not to cut myself. Working on this lion head for a belt buckle for a gentleman. So we're kind of all over the place. I'm trying to finish some stuff, but you know, the commissions are kind of taking priority right now. Like I said, wedding. Okay, let's see here. Love it. Whoop. All right. Specify some cut line edges. Go right across to here. Great. Loving it. 'Twas late '65 at the old Mossy Yard. She was commissioned to all the black tar. Built the Northumbria there on the bar. Roll, Northumbria, roll. For when the Egyptians they closed the Red Sea, call came on high from the powers that be. Build a royal monster right down on the quay. Roll, Northumbria, roll, me boys. Roll, Northumbria, roll. Carpathia, vengeance, celestial call. She was the tanker to outsize 'em all. From the banks of the Mersey to the port of Hull. Roll, Northumbria, roll, me boys. Roll, Northumbria, roll. And it's 1 for the hot sun above, 2 for the empire we love, and it's 3 for the fire that burns down below. Roll on, Northumbria, roll, Northumbria, roll. So come, all you good workmen, beware the command comes down on high from the desk of a man who's never held steel or torch in his hand. Roll, Northumbria, roll, me boys. Roll, Northumbria, roll. For atop the wild breaker, the cracks in her fray spilled her black guts all across the wild bay. She limped her way through an ocean of flame. Roll, Northumbria, roll, me boys. Roll, Northumbria, roll. And it's 1 for the hot sun above, 2 for the empire we love, and it's 3 for the fire that burns down below. Roll on, Northumbria, roll, Northumbria, roll. On the 4th of July, 1806, we set sail from the sweet cove of Cork. We were sailing away with a cargo of bricks for the Grand City Hall in New York. Such a wonderful craft, she was rigged fore and aft, and oh how the wild winds drove her. She stood several blasts, she had 27 masts, and we called her the Irish Rover. So fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I must sail away. Fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I must sail away. We had 1 million bags of the best Sligo rags, we had 2 million barrels of bone. We had 3 million bales of old nanny goat's tails, we had 4 million barrels of stone. We had 5 million hogs, 6 million dogs, 7 million barrels of porter. We had 8 million sides of a blind horse's hides, and the whole of the Irish Rover. So fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I must sail away. Fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I must sail away. There was old Mickey Coot, who played hard on his flute, and the ladies lined up for a set. He went tootling with skill for each sparkling quadrille, till the dancers were fluttered and bet. With his sharp witty talk he was cock of the walk, and he rolled the dames under and over. They all knew at a glance, when he took up his stance, that he sailed on the Irish Rover. So fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I must sail away. Fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I must sail away. Oh, hello, Orlando Shaver. I've just finished making the face for half the Doomslayer's chest armor. After I make the back, I can start unfolding and printing. Well done. Well done. Complicated models, man. Even trying to simplify them like gingerly can be a trial. A real trial. Like I said, if I were being very extra for this, I probably could have saved myself a little bit of time by exporting this into Blender, but it's nice to know that you can just do this in Pepakura, right? Okay, so let's unfold this. We're going to unfold this. It's currently set at 10.17. I kind of want to make that a little bit bigger. I mean, just for me, if nothing else. My head, let's see, 10.7. That's not even as tall as my head. So I'll make this, what, 11.5? Just because that should go reasonably just below my chin. 11.5, I like that. Let's see, we're not gonna place parts avoiding the page borders because that doesn't matter to us. I'll show you how to make sure that your stuff is set up for printing. But let's get in here. Let's see what the fruits of our 3D work was. This is great. This did a really good job of tidying up all those forms for us without us having to do a ton in the 2D window. This is delightful. Look at that. Look at that beast. That's already so clear, honestly. That is the center line, however. I wonder what would happen if we... Okay, I might do that. That seems to be a little bit more on the money, as it were. Yeah, I like that. There we go. And now the rest of that is pretty well evenly distributed across the top there. Which is great because that means that this can sort of just be one piece that sort of centers on the front there, rather than having a big seam all the way down the back. So then, unless, actually, what if we just split it in half? We'll just split it in half, and then it's perfectly symmetrical. And we can do this. We only have one side of it on the actual pattern pieces. We can take what's left of the dome, and we will split it half and half as well. Sort of like a lot of our trooper buckets. I've said this before, and I will say it again, which is that the more unfolding you do, the more you start to see the same kind of shapes over and over again. And to that end, this is definitely going to be one of those shapes, which is just a very simple dome. You know, it's a little oval. It's a little elliptical in nature, but it's not overly complicated. It comes to a single point at the top. It's not. This ain't rocket science. We've done this before, and if you want to see more of this stuff, I want to see this like, oh god, I can definitely double check this, but I think if I'm remembering correctly, yeah, there's like 50 Pepakura Tuesdays. So if you guys are in any way wondering more about how to use this program, I definitely encourage you to check out some of our backlog, some of our tool-specific live streams, because this, we've covered it backwards and forwards, and this is just icing on the cake, getting some more free templates out of it, frankly. This Galactic Marine will be totally free. However, the Death Trooper is actually slated to be this month's Patreon reward. So we're putting it out there as the big one that's basically just going to be for this month. We have several different releases this month, including Starro Mask and some other stuff. And actually, I'll show a little sneak preview of that in just a minute here. But, you know, we put a lot of stuff out, and I love doing it. And if you want to support the channel, please subscribe. But also, if you'd like to contribute, our Patreon is also linked down below. Let's see here. Awesome. I feel pretty good about that. If I join that, how does that look? Yeah, it's pretty good. This could be closer. How does that look? That a little better? Yeah, a little better. What if I actually just only join it at the one point there? How's that look? I feel like that's worse. Yeah, that's definitely worse. I think this might be as close as we get. Just backing up to here, frankly. Yep, I like it. Generally, I like it. Let's see. Tim Finnegan lived in Walking Street, a gentleman Irish mighty odd. He had a brogue, both rich and sweet, and a rise in the world he carried on. Now Tim had a sort of a tippling way, with the love of the liquor poor Tim was born, and to help him on his way each day to drop the crather every morn. Whack for the dawn, out dance to your partner on the floor, your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth what I told you? Lots of fun in Finnegan's Wake. So you've been working on cutting out the Republic Commando helm. Woo! Don't know if you have or not, but I think you should make a chest piece for the Commando. I'm going to be doing a full Commando build. I have just gotten very busy, which is different than I think just putting it off forever, because I'm actually still really into it. I've just got, like I said, I've been working on some other chest pieces. Yeah, I'll show it in the tiny little window down here. I've been working on a Hordak chest piece for a gentleman. Working on some belt buckles and things. You know, you get busy with people trying to pay you money, and you can't quite output the way you wanna. You know, there's a bunch of projects that I've got sort of on a semi-hold because I'm trying to pay some bills. It's what you can do, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. What you doing? Right now we are looking at a Galactic Marine here. This was sent to us by the Grimdark Crusader over on our Discord. Now I understand he did not model these, and I will try to look up the modeler again, just because it's important to try and credit where we can. Speaking of which, I don't know if any of you guys have ever encountered this, but I encountered recently that there's somebody on Etsy selling some of our free templates, which was frankly shocking to me. Like, they're selling them for money, and they're not editing them. They're just the same patterns. A gentleman over on Instagram, Oregon's Forge, was unfortunately scammed into paying like $15 for helmet templates of Wrecker from Bad Batch that we have for free. And I was so blown away by that, because, you know, I think that's just kind of the lowest form of scam artistry, which is literally just taking something that is free and selling it for that profit. But more than that, I was really disheartened that it was my Bad Batch templates, because those, you know, they're not intrinsically linked, but like back in, I think it was May now. God, time flies. When my grandfather was in the hospital, right before he passed away, I was working on that stuff, and I remember putting them out, and it was a really big deal. I got to show him some of that stuff, and it was just fun to kind of connect with him on that. And I don't know, it's kind of a gut punch to see that somebody was just nabbing that stuff and tricking people into paying for them, because they're, you know, those are really a labor of love. I've since gone through and done things like Hunter's Full Armor, and I do sell those templates as well. But, you know, those helmets, they're free. They're free. They're part of our free templates. They're part of our trooper buckets and just our free templates in general, the public templates. And I get so twisted up inside when people try to make a really quick buck like that, because it's also like very unnecessary. You know, modeling, I recognize as a skill, but it's also not impossibly difficult. If you really want to make something that people want, that people are willing to pay for, you can make something. But I think it takes some a really sort of depraved mindset to just kind of just take it. Like imagine if my videos suddenly went up as a paid service somewhere that I wasn't getting paid for. That's just staggering to me. Because you try to equate it to literally anything else, and it's hard to imagine how you would possibly justify or even go about it. And because that was the thing Oregon Forge was talking to me about. They were like, "Oh, is there any way they could have gotten a hold of the same model?" I'm like, for these, it's possible. I was very fortunate to work off some fun models, and since then I've gone on to do some of my own modeling for that stuff. But the patterns are verbatim. Like, at some point, even if they're trying to tell me they did go through and do all the work, they did all the work to make it exactly the same, and that I think is weirdly suspicious. I don't know, I get twisted up about it. That's rough. That's enough on that diatribe. It really is. But we're working on this Galactic Marine, and then we're going to be working a bit more on our Death Trooper, because I've put a lot of work into it, and I have finished, for the most part, separating all the pieces that we wanted to separate. Whoops. Oh, that's... I think we want it like that. Hang on. Yes? Question mark? Unless this is somehow better. It is not. That screws up the shape. That's okay. Alright, so we got one side of that there. Got one side of this there. And we'll take that. I'm not going to go through the entire unfolding process for this. We'll just do one side to kind of show off the ways I would do this. I'm not separating the edge piece here on the inside because I actually want to add it to the entire outside edge here as sort of a flap that you can use as a guideline for cutting extra foam to layer these pieces together. That's important, right? Right? Oh, here we go. Down our way, both night and day, you know everybody and they all know you. And even policemen say, how do you do? Gals by the score and pals galore, and that old gang of mine, they sang sweet that old line, down our way. Gee, but I wish that I could wander through the fields of clover and in the new-mown hay, and go strolling down a dusty country road amid the beautiful flowers that bloom in May. And on Saturday night you go a-courting with your girlie neath the bright and silvery moon. And on the way to church on Sunday evening, people saying, how do you do? Well, there we go. That's how we join that stuff together right there. Super easy to do. And just like that, we've basically got patterns for a full Galactic Marine here. Or at least the helmet, because this guy is just right here, and all I need to do for him is actually just apply this edge piece all the way around it, which will take no time at all here. It's basically just a long strip with a rounded corner, which is super satisfying, I would say, as a piece. When you just got fun trim pieces like that. I'm really excited for the chest piece that I've been working on. Hey, good evening. My day's been pretty good. I was just telling everybody I had a little bit of a kerfuffle. I discovered somebody's on Etsy selling patterns that we provide for free, which is really frustrating because all you can really do in the face of that generally, especially in the prop making community, is kind of try and spread the word. You've been cleaning? What you been cleaning? Your shop? Lord knows I've been trying to clean my shop, and I'm not doing a good job. I'm getting too much done. All right, so we'll call these templates pretty much done. We would do some cleanup on this, but obviously I haven't finished the other side, so I'd rather kind of move on to some other stuff. So let's open this guy up. Actually, right now might be a good time to take just a moment and show off. Ooh, where is it? Haha! I finished a Starro face hugger, and these patterns actually went up on our Patreon today. I believe these are going to go free either this weekend or next week. I can't remember. But we did a full pattern, and these are scalable, and they also include back faces if you do want to use them. So this is a really fun model to work up, and I really like the way it's turned out. So you can check that out over on our Patreon. Again, link down below in the description. But let's get back to our Death Trooper. So we were working on this last week. We actually managed to get, what was it, the left bicep fully unfolded, as well as, let's see, I think we also got the left shoulder. And these guys are perfectly symmetrical, so it's also the right shoulder and the right bicep. And since then, I have actually gone through and started to do some more unfolding. We've also got, I believe, the right thighs done here, which I think we can all agree. This turned out really, really nicely and got some big sweeping shapes where the detail's still there, especially if you remove this. You can still see all the larger shapes, but it's not so complicated that it becomes prohibitive, I'd say. Now, I believe I also started the right shin, so we can start here, since I've already done the 3D, or at least most of the 3D workup. Let's see here. I try to do these sort of in waves, you know, trying to get everything as done as you might say you can, frankly. Nope. Let's try that again. Gosh dang it. Okay. I think that makes sense there. Actually, no, I think that this will work out quite well if I just do it like that. Sweet. Sorry about that. So we've got this here is the right shin. It is actually different than the left shin. It's got these fun rectangles as well as this top knee piece. Fun fact, this is actually also the basis for the Mandalorian's shin from the Mandalorian, which I think is really fun. A lot of his armor is scavenged. No, this is not 50 inches tall. Let's call this 14 inches tall? What is it? I mean, because it's got the full knee piece, so it might be closer to like 15. Let's call it 15. We'll call this 15 inches tall. Look at that. We don't need any flaps. This is already looking very clean as well. Clean is my least favorite part of cosplay. Haha. Yeah, no, I feel ya. We finally, so this workshop that I'm in right now is one of a long line, and it's finally in a separate room from virtually everything else going on in my life, which is great, because it means at the very least I can kind of close off the door, try to limit smell to the rest of the apartment, fumes and whatnot. I've got windows, I've got a really nice ventilation system. You know, it's finally a little more legitimate, shall we say. Let's see here. Okay. Try and get this top piece to sort of conform to one piece. Yeah, I think that'll clean up pretty nicely there. Oof, that is rough. In a rare turn of events, we may actually abandon trying to add a flap right here in favor of this piece just being cleaner. Lord, that's rough. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too. Keep the love light glowing in your eyes so blue. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Oh, fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Oh, come on. Sometimes you really gotta massage these pieces into place, Lord. Okay, here we go. Let's try to even this out. A lot of this really is just trading bigger lines, bigger darts like these ones, for smaller ones that preserve the detail a little bit better. You know, you gotta do it. You gotta get it did. Here we go. See here. Can we try to even this out? Is that possible? I mean, that's close-ish. It's a little intense on the one side. You know, the more I look at this, I'm not super happy with how stuck together that is. Lord. I mean, I could always just, as we hit this edge right there, yeah, sort of trade it out like that. It's a damn tough life, full of toil and strife, we whalermen undergo. And we don't give a damn when the gale are done, how hard the winds did blow. 'Cause we're homeward bound from the Arctic grounds, with a good ship taut and free. And we won't give a damn when we drink our rum with the girls of old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic grounds, rolling down to old Maui. Ooh, I think that might do it. Look at how close that is now. Oh, yeah. There. I know there's a little bit of gap in there, but when we go through and we join these adjacent edges, this should actually tidy up really nicely. Oh, boom. Look at how clean that is. I love that. There we go. That's basically one whole side of the shin. Then there's this like whittle tiny tail piece here, which we're just gonna get rid of the edge component, and it just gets kind of tacked on. So, bam, bam. Okay. There's an edge to this entire piece that we can just get rid of as well. There we go. And then we've got the center line in the front, which is all just sort of one piece again. Excellent. Again, this is pretty easy, pretty straightforward the way we're doing this. It's just a question of doing it. I'm getting really amped about finishing some of these projects, though, because there is stuff that I'd really like to be doing. Obviously, I'm mid-Phase 1 Clone Trooper right now doing some stuff, but also, you know, I've been seeing so much traffic on my Captain Rex build lately, and that's super fun for me, because I really enjoyed, making that build. I did. But it really makes me want to go through and just do my best to try and make that tutorial even better, or even redo it, just because I think, a year in, I've developed a lot more skill and confidence in doing not only these builds, but these tutorials, and I'd really like to pump something out that's just a little bit more, frankly, because I've got that skill level now. And that's fun for me. It really is. By the way, we're actually getting shockingly close to monetization. I think we're at like almost 3,200 viewing hours for the last year, and we're like 1,800 subscribers, which is crazy. I think when we hit 2,000 subscribers, we should do another giveaway, because this has really been a crazy endeavor. And it's so cool to see people are jazzed enough about it to stick around and, watch. The fact that I'm streaming on a weekly basis is kind of crazy to me, because I couldn't have imagined that a year ago. Could any of you, frankly? Like, this is really cool. This is really cool, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of it, frankly. Okay, so this is a little bit wonk right here. So that's okay. Where is this actually joined together? I'm actually so lost. Where is this joined together? Because it's not. Oh, it's right here. Oof. Okay. Okay. Well, that makes life a little bit easier that I can do that. Oh, Mr. Johnny Verbeck, how could you be so mean? I told you you'd be sorry for inventing that machine. Now all the neighbors' cats and dogs will never more be seen. They've all been ground to sausages in Johnny Verbeck's machine. Oh, once there was a Dutchman whose name was Johnny Verbeck. He made the finest sausages and sauerkraut and speck. He made the finest sausages that'll evermore be seen. Till one day he invented a sausage-making machine. Oh, Mr. Johnny Verbeck, how could you be so mean? I told you you'd be sorry for inventing that machine. Now all the neighbors' cats and dogs will never more be seen. They've all been ground to sausages in Johnny Verbeck's machine. Yeah, no, it's super fun to be close to it. Here's the thing. I think it might be a stretch goal, but I think it'd be really cool if by the end of this summer, I was monetized. Because I'm not expecting a ton of money from this, right? But it would be nice. It would be nice. I like doing these videos. It would be nice if even just the act of watching it, I got a little something from that, because, I like putting these out, and I want to be able to put more time into that. Obviously, like I said, I've been kind of bogged down in the commission land right now, which is just a thing. It is a thing. There we go. Hey, here we go. Trying to get these guys to sort of sit roughly where they should go. I don't know how much of a fool's errand that is. That one's pretty close. That one could be better. Is that something? It's kind of something. What if I actually join this one right here? Oh, hey, now that's actually quite close. What if... Wait, where's this joined? This is joined right here. What if instead of joining it right there, we joined it right here? Oh, that's less of something. Good lord. Hey! Hey, I really like using Pepakura. I've had some people accuse me of being too reliant on it, to which I say, I don't care. This is a really fun program, and I think it's really fun to use it this way. And, you know, it allows me to crank out a lot of really nice templates that I know have helped a lot of people do some really cool builds. So I will continue to do it because it is truly so much fun for me. Now, what am I missing here? This is a slightly more complex puzzle than I. You know, I remember that too. I remember Pepakura sort of being a big deal when I was in high school, and that was a big driver behind me wanting to get better at it, frankly, was because I remember just everybody and their mother was doing it. And I was like, I could do that. Me also doing it. God, this is... I feel like I'm so close to getting this just right, but this one in particular is a little off, because this... everything about that is just a little off. Man, okay. Oh, and I'm missing this edge across here. Okay, well that's easily fixable though. I can just put that across here. See, these ones, unlike that Galactic Marine build, I went through and I converted most of the quads to, the tries to quads, so they're a little bit easier to flip around and manipulate. I think this is just too close. Let's try that. Okay, that's a little closer to what I was hoping for, to be honest. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I know this looks like garbage right there, but when I join everything together... that's exactly what I was hoping it would do. Hey! Oh, that's great. Okay, so now I just need to tidy this spot up. I think that should be okay. Okay, so this is good. This is like the other side of the shin. That's phenomenal. Woo! Oh my god, that was so much fiddling to get that to where it is. We're just gonna make sure that's saved. Control S, folks. Control S. Save your progress. Okay, we got these 4 rectangles that sort of fit into those slots. This is an edge piece. This is another edge piece. I don't know exactly. It goes right there. There we go. Okay, I think I'm just going to make sure that little deedly bob cleans up well. Oh, it's not. It's wanting to... oh, no, I can recover that. I'm okay with that. I'm going to live with that. Because instead, we're going to spend our time hiding lines we don't need, which means most of these. Don't really need most of those lines. Yeah, I don't really miss them. Okay, so now we can go through and just sort of trying to hide the ones that don't really add detail or a meaningful edge. Which I think is going to be most of these. Whoops. Most of those. There we go. Nice. That's pretty clean. I like that. I think this should actually just be flat, so that's good there. We don't need that, but those edges on the side are important. Okay. I don't think any of those lines are important. I'll just check the texture. Yeah, none of those lines are important. But on this one, this one is important. So take that. Here we go. And then there's no lines that are important on that. That's just that diddly bit right there. There are no lines on this, so I don't need to hide anything. This is supposed to be smooth. There we go. Which means I just got the two big pieces to tidy up. Everything along the edge on the one side here, there we go, found it, needs to be removed because it's just sort of the edge that lays on. And then there's a vertical edge as well, which can also be viewed as sort of just a flap there. There we go. Oops, I hit a line I didn't mean to. Okay, well, that's all right. Let's hide this. It joined a little funny right there. There we go. Yeah, that should... I'm going to call that close enough. Clear enough, at least. If you know how to interpret what you're looking at, you should be able to understand it. There we go. I think, yeah, this should just be hidden like that. Sweet. There we go. And then this, similarly, on the back edge of this, there's another edge that's just sort of a flap all the way up. Yep. Just like that. What is those cut lines that didn't join together? I guess there's just a missing edge there. We'll get rid of those. That's okay. Small errors like that will not impede this build, frankly. I would say that this is still pretty clean, especially given the nature of its construction here. That's pretty straightforward. Hot damn. Okay, let's do the same thing on this side. Again, the leading and the trailing edges are sort of flaps that need to be put together. I'm McLovin' it. Go. Same dealio. We're gonna get rid of that cut line because it got a little wonk, but that's okay. And then getting rid of most of this. Whoop. There we go. I'm trying to avoid those rectangles for the moment, just because I'm gonna need to do something a little bit more detail intensive right about here. So we get rid of all of this, right? But then we need to get rid of those because those are meant to be flat. Whoo boy. Okay. Here we go. Getting very tight on these pieces. Okay, so we get way close in there. And then we get rid of all of these lines. And by the time we're done, we're left with pretty clear, I would argue, fairly distinct rectangles that show off where those four pieces go. And yeah, you can wedge them around a little bit, but this is I think a pretty straightforward guide as to where they go on the shin. Similarly, just gonna do this right here. Oh, don't need any of that bottom edge, but I do need these guys as indicators where that piece on that raised piece gets set. But once we've got that, I think we're in business for this part. And yeah, and this is the sort of the basic idea for all of the pattern pieces on the Death Trooper. It gets definitely complicated, don't get me wrong, but I would say that these templates are more than manageable now. And now we're going to reset the model view, and I will unclick all the pieces we're keeping. Yep, come on. There we go. And just for kicks, we'll keep all four of those. And then we get rid of the other parts. And we can set this over here. So we'll check the settings here. We're going to go print and paper settings. I like a margin of about 0.5 inches, half an inch. And I work in letter, so I've got that size there. I print lines smoothly, 0% transparency, and then I print the page number and alignment marks, which means that when I print, there will be these marks on the page that show you where to line everything up and sort of tape things together so that you can cut it out properly, and that allows us to have pieces that are bigger than a single page. What's a non-Star Wars proper weapon that I really want to build? You know, I really want to make my own version of the Flame of the West Anduril, but I don't think that's in my future because I've done just the hilt of Narsil before, so I don't know if that's necessarily in my future. I don't know. I have to think about that because I really do like making lots of different kinds of props. I don't know, because there's a lot of things that would be really fun to make. I know that this is still Star Wars, but I do consider it in a slightly different vein. I have really wanted to make, like, when I have, like, a great room, like a big area all my own, I really want to make, like, a stuffed Rancor head, like a mounted Rancor head. I think that would be really cool, frankly. Let me think. What else? I don't know. I would really like my own bat suit. I think that would be really fun. I would do Batfleck just because I really like Batfleck. I love the take on the character and I really like the design. Although the Batman looks like it's going to be really good as well. So I would also be interested in that. And I do have templates for that actually. Those are also on my Patreon, I believe. Here, stick that over here, and just for kicks we will set this up here near that part, and just like that we've got the Death Trooper's right shin, which I know is just super exciting, and what everybody came to see was the right shin of the Death Trooper. But I think that it's yeah, no, I would love to do that. I would love to have. So in some ways, you know, there are people who have, like, weapon walls for things. I think it would be really cool to have, like, a fantasy creature, like, trophy wall. Because I'm not a hunter myself, but I think that would look really cool. And I do believe I have the prop chops, as it were, to make something like that look really cool. So, yeah. Let's see. We've got, like, 11 minutes left. Let's do another thing. I've got the Pauldron here. This is the Pauldron. This goes on the shoulder here. And I've already done the 3D work on this one as well. So if we wanted to, what I might do real quick, is I know I was wanting to smooth this out just ever so slightly. So I'm going to be quick and dirty about this. We're just going to move this vertex so that it's in more of a circular shape right there. Sweet. And then single edge selecting, yeah, that's good enough for me. Same dealio on the front. Loving it. Sweet. Awesome. Yeah, I'm actually helping out my grooms. Oh, there's the hilt of Narsil. It's right here. I made the hilt of Narsil. This is a video. I made this in like a day a little while back. It's a super fun build. You know, I'm helping my groomsmen make a lot of really fun things, like some kunai, a really cool Monster Hunter sword right now. So, I mean, I'm getting to flex the non-Star Wars bones. A Red Hood mask that we actually just put templates up on our Etsy. Again, we're having a sale on the Etsy, so if you've ever wanted one of the builds, or if you just were looking to pick up some of our nicer templates, we got some really nice templates over there. It's a sale until the wedding, because I need to pay for a wedding. Let's unfold this. We'll call that, because it's going under the arm, it's a little taller, so let's maybe 10 inches? It's a little bigger than it would normally be, because like if it's just that big, it's only like 5-6 inches tall. But because of the strap being there, it's different. Okay, this one's a little bit beefier, because my intention for this, because these are very rounded shapes, very leathery shapes, is you would cut each of them out sort of round over each of the edges and glue them together like that, so they've got that sort of seam line to them. Whoa. Because in the same vein as like the trophy wall, you could also put some droids up there, some robots. I think that could be really fun. I know I've been following. For any of you who don't follow him, I would follow Jake Bartok. Jake does a lot of medieval designs of Star Wars characters, and I know he's been doing some Lord of the Rings crossover characters recently. And his work is really fun, so if you're ever in the mood for just some inspirational creative energy, Jake Bartok, he's pretty cool. He's definitely on Facebook, I know that, but I don't know where else he is. There we go. Just smoothing out these parts, trying to put them back in a reasonable sort of order here. There we go. Look at that. We love it. And that's just the one piece here. And now let's grab the next one. We'll just kind of get as far as we can on this. I'm not feeling super pressed on this. I think we've made a ton of progress, frankly. Like I'll actually just kind of show off, because in addition to the pauldron, we've got to unfold the left thigh, but it's basically the other thigh. We got the shoulder and the bicep are already done. The left shin, which is again basically the other shin, but minus some detail. And then we've got, let's see here, the hand plate. That's right, I have the hand plate, which is very simple. You know what? Actually, let's do the hand plate real quick, because this will take no time at all, and it gives you a sense of all the. Oh, whoops! I'm in the wrong place. There we go. It gives you... Oh, this is not the right texture image. That's okay. We'll just shade it so you can see the edges. This is super straightforward and will require almost no work. We'll specify the cut line edges and do all the 2D before we are done here. And that will be that. Don't need these back edges, but I will use the front edge because it's significantly sloped there, and I want that to show. I am going to move this vertex to make it a little bit flatter right there. Perfect. All right, unfold it. Make it like 2.5 inches tall. I don't know. Something like that. It might be a little too small. Let's scale it up 10%. Look at that. Get rid of the flaps. Don't need this edge. Do I need this? I do need that. Take this. This is one side of it. Wham bam. Okay. And then we take the other side of it right here. And that's just how easy it is. That's just how easy it is. Look at that. Awesome. All right, well, I'm going to call that done. We're going to join those adjacent edges. Hide those lines. Super simple. Boom. Corner it. Just like that. Boom, get rid of that. There's our hand plate for the Death Trooper. Loving it. Bam. I'm accomplished. I did it. Did it, Ma. Did it. Oh, in the meantime, we're wrapping up here, so I will do 2 things real quick. First, I should be so bold as to show off my Etsy store, because I'm very proud of some of the stuff we put out lately, and I want to thank you guys for chilling out. Just check out, we've got everything's 25% off, including a bunch of really nice patterns, some trooper buckets, some helmets, and of course our full builds. You know, we've got that Hilt of Narseals for sale, the Hylian Shield, Star-Lord Mask, etc. You know, just feel free to check it out. Feel free. In the meantime, I will just let everybody know that I have Patreon, and I do have patrons who do support the channel and the work. And we want to let them know that we appreciate them. So Gabriel, Ken, Sam the Man, Suit Up Props, Laura, Ruben, Matt G, K-Snake, and of course Austin of AJ Plays Piano. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. It means a ton to us, and these Death Trooper templates are coming very shortly for you folks exclusively. And for those of you who are just in it for the Galactic Marine, that stuff is going to be going live probably this Friday, maybe in chunks, maybe the helmet first, I don't know yet. But these are going to be free. And, you know, if you like these sorts of templates, check out our Discord, because we're always talking about making more templates over there. And these models did come from our Discord. So, without further ado, I will simply say I've been Jaden here for Foam Armory. And as always, please take care. Thank you guys so much.